Next fight of the night, we have Uriah Faber versus Brian Bowles. It's going to be a very cool fight, knowing that they both are former WEC champions, be it in different weight classes, but very, very talented fighters. I think this is going to be one of the upsets of the night. Faber is the heavy favorite, and in every stat I've read, he's been considered the favorite. People are suggesting that Faber's going to win based on his speed and wrestling, which are obviously always his biggest assets. He's also got great chokes, but I think stylistically, Brian Bowles possesses the necessary skills to not only beat Faber but to stop him. Let's go back to the Faber fight against Mike Brown. He got stopped by a big punch because he was getting too wild. And in my opinion, Bowles is even a better striker than Mike Thomas Brown. Very technical, a dynamite of a right hand, very good footwork, very good technical boxing. And I just think that he's got the necessary wrestling to stop Faber's takedowns. Faber will definitely have a speed advantage, and he's very elusive, very good at going in and out. But I think in that fight, eventually in a point of the 3-round fight, Faber will get Bowles down, but Bowles will definitely catch him at some point. And when he does, I don't know if Faber's chin can handle that. I mean, Brian Bowles is, in my opinion, the heaviest hitter in the bantamweight division. And not only a heavy hitter, but a refined striker. So I think he will catch Faber, and I'm going for a Bowles TKO in round 2.
Yeah, Bowles is a pretty big deal. I mean, he was the first person to put
Miguel Torres
to sleep and took his championship belt.
Did it quickly too.
And Miguel Torres was considered top 3 pound for pound at that point, and it was unstoppable. 37-1, even better record than Fedor. And he had like 5 straight title defenses or something. I probably was 4. But Brian Bowles is no slouch, and I've been picking Uriah Faber lately in most of his fights. And I think I'm going to stick with it. I think Uriah is, the real deal. Lately, he has been, I don't know if he has been performing at his best, because lately I don't see his performances as great as he did previously when he was in the UFC reigning champion. I don't see Faber, being as fluid. He still is a guy that takes a lot of risks and has very unorthodox moves and moves around and spins a lot. Scrambles a lot and has very dominant wrestling, and his striking has improved a lot. But I think Uriah is gonna choose the safe path, and he's gonna try to take Brian Bowles down. And his submission is very underrated. Uriah has one of the best submissions in that division, and he's submitted black belts that were supposed to be superior than him in the ground. And I think he's going to do the same with Brian Bowles. I think he's going to be able to submit him somewhere between the 2nd or 3rd round. Although it's not going to be an easy task, he has to run through past the fists of Brian Bowles first.
Okay, next fight of the night, we have Wanderlei Silva versus Cung Le. I am definitely, and I admit it, one of the biggest Wanderlei Silva fans out there. And every time he fights, it's hard to watch nowadays, because his best days are obviously behind him. I think he should retire as soon as he can. His chin isn't the same as it used to be. He's just been in so many wars, like so many other fighters before him. And I think he's at that point where, like, every time he gets tagged, he's going to sleep. And he's been getting tagged by big hitters. I mean, guys like Quentin Jackson, Chris Lieben. And Cung Le is, again, in that same category. Not only a great striker, but a heavy hitter. I mean, this guy can kick any way you want to the body, to the head, spinning hook kicks. Just very fluent Sanshu style combinations. And I'm afraid that Wanderlei can get caught. On the other hand, Cung Le has been stopped before, and has been stopped by somebody that has a similar style to Wanderlei, which is Scott Smith. More of a brawler, heavy-handed type fighter. I've seen footage of Wanderlei training, and I still don't see him correcting his problems. I still see him putting his head down and just brawling forward. I still don't see him using footwork, using angles, ducking more, using more straight punches instead of hooks. And if he just brawls in like he usually does, like he's always done, I think Cung Le's going to stop him in the first round again. I hope I'm wrong, but my money would be on a Kung Lee first round knockout.
I'm leaning towards Kung Lee as well. Although there's also the factor that at any point in time, if Wanderlei connects, it's probably going to be a good night for you. Wanderlei is also one of my favorite fighters, and I just don't see him, getting the W here. Obviously, Kung Lee is a much technical style of striking. He is a very more accurate, more precise, but he also packs a lot of power. He's one of the guys that are very accurate, but the punches he commits to every punch and every kick. So it's going with a lot of power behind it. I think Wanderlei has been a victim of his own decisions of being as crazy as he is. He took too many wars. He wasn't in a lot of wars. Like for instance, when Pride asked him, "Oh, Quentin Jackson's not available to fight. Would you fight Mark Hunt? We'll pay you double the money." You're fighting a guy that outweighs you by almost 100 pounds. You fight like 4 or 5 times a year, and you get into these fights because of his style. He doesn't mind taking punishment in order to knock the other guy out. So Wanderlei is obviously out of his prime, but he's very determined. He has a heart of a champion. He's never gonna give up. He's always gonna go for the knockout. And if I was a close friend of Wanderlei, I will tell him to go for the takedown and work him there. The thing is like Kung Lee's takedown defense is superb. He has excellent technical defense.
I was gonna say that right now. Taking lead down ain't easy.
Yeah, and as he said, Kung Lee was beat by Scott Smith, which in my opinion, Wanderlei has a very similar style. Scott has a stronger shin, way stronger shin than Wanderlei, and not just Wanderlei, pretty much everyone in his division at the least. And but Wanderlei has a style to if this fight is a brawl, and if Wanderlei is able to close the distance, if he doesn't stay outside at the range of Kung Lee's kicks, he's probably going to be able to have a better chance. But then again, if he gets into a brawl, is his chin going to withstand the power that Kung Lee brings? His best chance is get into a brawl, but then is his chin going to cooperate with him getting into a brawl? That's the thing. And I saw an interview today about Kung Lee stating that he was frosty against Scott Smith fight. He had 13 months layoff. He couldn't train. He was doing movies. Fighters always make up things like that, but you gotta wonder if he really put the effort in this one, because he also was away for 3 movies this time. But he said he changed his routine and his training regimen. There's a lot of things, that all factors you have to consider when the fights are coming up that people don't know about. But you don't know how Kung Lee fights once every 2 years or something like that. He doesn't stay active, and that can't help you. I hope Wanderlei wins, but I see Kung Lee being patient, because if he gets very if he gets into a brawl and if he
might get tagged.
He might get tagged. So I think he's gonna delay a little bit and probably look for the knockout in the second, third round, and I think he's gonna get it.
Okay, good point with the whole ring rust thing. I do believe that Kung Lee has trained very hard for this fight, even though the ring rust is probably there. I mean, it's Wanderlei Silva. Even though he's been losing lately, you still can't underestimate him.
Also, Kung Lee is fighting in his hometown. He's from San Jose. He was born. I think he was born there. I don't know, but he grew up there. He was mentioning
a big fan support that helps as well.
And he doesn't have to move. He doesn't have to acclimate. He doesn't have to do all the things that other people have to do.
And now the main event of the fight, which is Mauricio Shogun Rua versus the big Strikeforce champion and former Pride champion Dan Henderson. This is just a great fight. I mean, guys, ever since the Pride days have been asking for this fight and wanting this fight, because these two are just so exciting and so well known. I mean, they're fan favorites. Stylistically, you have a guy, Shogun, which has very refined striking, very clean Muay Thai. He does everything excellent. The punching combinations, the knees, the clinching, the high kicks, the low kicks. Everything is very smooth. On the other hand, you have Hendo, which he's more of a boxer style, not a lot of kick.